What is happening, fam? It's Ben here, and I'm excited for today's class because we're going to get deep into the hips while working on balance, strength, mobility, and just some fun flows to get us working through space. So with that all being said, let's go ahead and get right into it by starting onto our bellies. As we start onto our bellies, forearms come onto the mat for Sphinx pose. This is a great little place to start if you've been sitting down, hunched over throughout the day, just to move the spine in a different direction. So go ahead and start looking over your left shoulder for a moment, and then look over your right shoulder. Begin to stretch into your neck. Good. And then next time you look over your left shoulder, pause, bend your left knee, try to look back towards your left toes, and then drop your left leg back. Look over your right shoulder, bend your right knee, try to look towards your right foot. Release your right leg, look over your left shoulder, bend your left knee, try to look towards your left toes, point the toes back towards your face, and then release the left leg, bend your right knee, point the right toes toward your face, try to look at your right foot, and then you kind of get the point. Take a few rounds looking over one shoulder, bending that same leg, releasing, looking over your other shoulder, bending that leg, just to really get into the back, get into our proprioception, right? Again, we'll be working through balance today, and so it always helps to kind of notice where we're at in space, to feel the body and see the body as we move. All right, so let's go ahead and release that. Come on down and place your palms on the mat. Let your knees stay down and press up to a plank on your knees. Then from here, settle back into a puppy pose. So puppy pose is like child's pose, except our toes stay tucked under. And our hips might not fall all the way back to the heels. We might stay a little bit more upright. It's more of a shoulder flexion pose than a restorative pose like child's pose. Rock around a little bit, hands grip into the mat. Good. And then round your spine as you roll and ripple forward. Adjust your stance as needed and find a cobra pose. So let your hips drop, let your hips lift. Let your shoulders lift. Hips drop, shoulders up. And so the difference between cobra and up dog is that for up dog, the legs engage, so I actively press down through the tops of my feet. I engage my quads and I pull my hips forward actively. Whereas cobra pose, I let my legs get a little lazier and I just let my arms and just the structure of the pose create a stretch. So just kind of like a lazy up dog here. And then come to your downward facing dog. Find a little bit of energy in your downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet. Good. Walk your hands back to your feet this time and come into a forward fold at the back of your mat. Relax down for a moment. Again, you can shake out the knees. You could rock side to side. Create a sense of relaxation in your upper body here. Roll all the way up to standing. And then take a giant step forward with your right foot, or whatever foot makes sense for you based on your situation, so that you can come into a sideways standing shape and still be able to maybe see the screen if you want. So come into your wide stance, right? If you want, your toes can be facing straight towards the edge of your mat, or your toes could be facing slightly out to the side, whatever you feel like. And then from here, take a deep bend into your left knee, shift over. Maybe your right toes peel up, maybe not, but we're just coming into kind of a standing Skandasana side lunge. And then come through center and bend into your other knee. And come through center, switch. Come through center, switch. And you kind of get the point here. We're just bouncing around, bending into one knee, keeping the hips low and sending the hips back in space is really important here. Really sending the hips behind us and then coming up. And then switching sides, hips behind us, trying to almost bring this knee over the ankle, right? That's how far we're trying to push. Working into our range of motion. We'll be working with postures like balancing half moon, warrior two, triangle pose. And so these side lunges are a wonderful introductory way to start to get into our inner hips and hamstrings. All right, so let's come up to standing, shake out the legs a little bit, and then come into a goddess pose. I know we're getting right into it today, so if you need these poses to be a little bit more mellow than they would be if you were fully warmed up, that's totally cool. Rock side to side. As you'll see, I got my little dance going. This is one of my, I almost do this automatically whenever a teacher cues goddess pose if I'm taking a class or something, because it feels so dang good to just rock around to create fluidity rather than being stuck in one place, right? So rock the weight around, especially on a day-to-day when we're balancing a lot. We're going to be shifting the weight a lot and trying to find coordination and flow and rhythm through these movements. So rock around in your goddess pose. And then sink a little bit further into it, hands to heart center. Go through a brief little flow here. So inhale, stand up, hands to the sky. Exhale, sink into your goddess, hands to heart center. Inhale, hands go wide, stay low. Exhale, hands return to heart center. And that's all we're doing. A few more rounds. Inhale, stand up and reach up. Exhale, sink into your goddess pose. Inhale, hands wide to open up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, hands to the sky, reach up, stand up. Exhale, sink into it, hands to heart. Inhale, hands go out to the side. Exhale, hands return to your heart center. Inhale, stand and reach your hands to the sky. Exhale, sink into your goddess posture. Inhale, hands reach to the sides. Exhale, hands come back to your heart. Inhale, stand and reach up. Exhale, sink into your goddess. I just about lost balance there. Inhale, hands wide. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, straighten your legs. Toes reach toward the side edge of your mat. Bring the hands to your hips and gently guide the pockets of your pants forward. And if you're wearing yoga pants without any pockets, just imagine you had them. Push the front hips forward to create somewhat of a back bend. Shoulder blades hug together, elbows hug together. And then take it forward into your fold. That was so funny. I really almost fell out of that goddess posture. I have mirrors in my little practice zone in my apartment, and so I watched myself almost completely fall on my butt right there. So if you want a little laugh, then just rewind like, 30 seconds or so. Relax into your fold. As you see, again, I'm rocking side to side, but you can do whatever you want here. Just let this be a nice fold where you can release effort out of the legs, but still get a nice stretch at the same time. Alrighty. Let's go ahead from here and stand all the way up and then come to the top of your yoga mat. And this is where we will start our flow. And we're going to get right into our flow today. Round one is going to be a little challenging because we've warmed up, but you're not the most warm you could be. So just take round one with a grain of salt as we learn the movements. I do have 2 yoga blocks here with me. That's because we're going right into balancing half moon and other shapes that I like to use blocks in, but they're definitely not required. You don't need anything. If you have any block-like shapes, you could also just use a household item like a big book or something, or a roll of paper towels also makes a good block supplement. All right, stand on your right foot, left knee lifts into the chest, and then from here, let's open into a tree pose without using our hands. So I'll turn to face you, and we're standing on the right leg. Left leg opens at the hip, and then try to place your left foot on your right leg, again, without using your hands. And what's interesting is that if we use our hands, most people hike the foot all the way up towards the hips, but without using our hands, we realize we have to rely on the activity of our leg. You might not get as high. If your foot lands around your knee, just be sure to be extra strong in your standing leg. Good. Nice job. And then go ahead and come back to stork pose. Left knee lifts to the chest, and then release to standing. Shake out the legs. Good. And then stand on your left foot, right knee lifts into the chest, and then open at your hip and find your active tree pose without using your hands. We're just doing this real quick right before we enter our flow because, again, it helps us find a balance for the day before we do our flow, and it helps work into the similar hip rotation that we'll find in a second. Go ahead and come back to stork pose, right knee to the chest, and then place the right foot back down on the mat. Shake it out, and then we'll do our flow right now. So let's go ahead and do it. Stand on your right leg, left knee lifts for stork pose. Find a similar opening as if you were going to come to that same active tree pose, except this time revolve all the way to balancing half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. So I'm going to place my right hand on a block and left hand to the sky as my left foot extends back. This is a very challenging posture, so if you find yourself wobbling and falling, just know that you are in the majority, and that's very normal. I just filmed a class before this too, so I'm already a little bit warm. All right, let's go ahead and bend into your right knee. Slowly step the left foot back behind you and come into your warrior 2 shape. Open up the arms, warrior 2. Find a strong sensation of strength in the arms, yet relaxation. So we're not hiking the shoulders up, we're relaxing the shoulders, nice and smooth. We're not stressing the arms, but the palms are reaching away from one another to open the wingspan here. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Inhale, reverse your warrior, lean up and back. Exhale, take it forward to side angle, right elbow to knee, left arm extends overhead, bicep by the ear. You could also reach your hand down to the mat or a block if you want. Take some big shoulder loops just to warm up through the shoulder joint a little bit more. So left arm just waves around. You can move in any way you want, but let it be on purpose. Let it be mindful. Really feel the shoulder joint moving, or rather feel the upper arm bone moving in the shoulder socket, which is actually the shoulder blade is the shoulder socket. All right, so left arm sweeps overhead again. Take one more inhale, one more exhale. Reverse your warrior, straighten your right leg, right hand to the sky. So we're in like a reverse triangle here. Take one more breath in. Exhale, slow entry to triangle pose. Reach the arms wide, but don't drop your right hand to any object, including your right leg yet. Float your right hand. Notice how much harder it is to find your floating triangle than if you were to just go ahead and dump your right hand onto your leg. It forces you to kind of be more aware and active. All right, so from here, go ahead and drop your right hand to your leg if you want. The movement here starts on the left hand. So left hand moves from above us to behind us. Big circle as it moves down. As it moves forward, hands come to heart center, bend into your right knee, stork pose. Left knee pulls all the way up into the chest. Take a breath in. Exhale, place the left foot down on the mat. Take a pause, shake it out, move the body for a second. So that's our flow. As usual, round one is always the slowest, and then we'll pick up a little bit more speed from there. So stand on your left leg, right knee lifts into the chest, stork pose. From here, open at your hip. And then keep opening, keep revolving, balancing half moon, Ardha Chandrasana, right foot extends behind us, maybe left hand to a block, maybe left hand floats or comes to the ground. Your choice. Slowly bend your left knee, let the right foot step all the way behind you into warrior two. So it's kind of a fun transition because we get to keep our hips in the open position as we enter warrior two. Again, same thing, we have a couple breaths in our first warrior two. If you want, you could find a sensation of squeezing the mat together with both feet. And by squeezing the mat together, you'll feel the bottoms, or not the bottoms, but the insides of your legs really fire up. So the backs of the legs, the hamstrings, working into the calves, the inner thighs. Take a breath in, breath out. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, swing it forward, side angle pose, right arm overhead, bicep to ear. And then move through your nice and conscious shoulder rotations. See what kind of nice, beautiful space you can create in this moment. Let it feel good. Let it feel explorative. And then come back when you're ready. Side angle, one more breath in. One more breath out. And then reverse. Straighten out your left leg to reverse your triangle. And then take a slow entry into triangle. Stay floating, stay floating, stay floating. Try to resist it. Try to use your core, your side body strength, your torso and your legs to keep you elevated. And then go ahead and drop your left hand if you want. Take your gaze to your right hand. Move the right hand in a big circle. First moves behind us, then down, then forward, eventually hands to prayer, bend into your left knee, stork pose, right knee powers up into the chest, and then place the right foot down on the ground. Shake out the legs a little bit. Inhale, hands to the sky, both of them. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, hands to your floor, plank pose, step back. From plank, take low plank, chaturanga, with or without the knees down to support you. Upward facing dog, pull your way through. Press down through the tops of the feet, active legs here, and then come to downward facing dog. From down dog, look forward, rise to your toes, bend your knees, walk or take a hop to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart into mountain pose, Tadasana. All right, we're going to go through basically that same flow with more pace, a little more speed. I might cue some movement with our breath, so settle into it. Hopefully over the course of a few rounds, it becomes more fun and comfortable for you. So stand on your right foot, left knee lifts to stork pose. Take an inhale. Exhale, revolve into balancing half moon. Take a full breath in and a full breath out here. Rock back to warrior two. On your inhale, sit out of it, straighten the right leg, and then exhale, sink into a strong warrior two. Inhale to reverse your warrior. Exhale, swing it forward, side angle pose. Inhale, reverse your warrior, right leg extends. Exhale, take your weight into triangle pose. Your right hand could float or ground, your choice. Take a big loop with your left hand behind you, and then it circles all the way to prayer. Left knee into the chest, stork pose. Inhale. Exhale, left foot to the ground. Inhale, right knee into the chest. Exhale, start opening through balancing half moon. Take a full breath in, full breath out. Rock it back to warrior two. On your next inhale, straighten both legs. As you exhale, settle into your warrior two shape. Inhale, reverse your warrior up and back. Exhale, swing it forward, side angle posture. Inhale, reverse, straighten out your left leg, left hand to the sky. Exhale, swim it forward, triangle pose. Take your gaze to your right hand, big circle, right hand behind you, eventually down and then forward, hands to prayer, right knee to the chest, take a breath in. Exhale, place the right hand on the ground. Inhale, both hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms to the mat, plank pose, to low plank pose, to upward facing dog, to downward facing dog. Look forward, rise to your toes, bend your knees, walk or take a hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart. Left knee lifts into the chest. Inhale. Exhale, move open into your to your balancing half moon. Take a full breath in here and a full breath out. Warrior two, rock it back. On your inhale, straighten both legs. As you exhale, strong warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse. Straighten your right leg. Exhale, triangle pose, active, or drop your right hand, your choice. Take your gaze up to your left hand, big circle back, and then down, and then forward, hands to prayer. Left knee swoops into the chest, stork pose, and then place the left foot back down. Inhale, right knee into the chest. Exhale, rotate open to balancing half moon. Find your space, full breath in, and a full breath out. Rock back to warrior two. Straighten your left leg, inhale. Exhale, sink into the posture. Inhale, left hand up and back, reverse. Exhale, side angle, swoop it forward. Inhale, reverse your triangle, both legs extend. Exhale, find your triangle. Look up towards your right hand, big circle behind you. Eventually, hands circle to prayer, right knee into the chest. Inhale. Exhale, place right foot on the ground. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the floor, plank pose. Through low plank, bend the elbows. Upward facing dog, pull your way through. Return to your downward facing dog. Look forward, rise to your toes, bend your knees. Walk, step, hop, top of the mat, or however you want to get there. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. 2 more rounds. Inhale, left knee into the chest. Exhale, rock open to balancing half moon. Full breath in. Full breath out. Amazing work. Drop back to warrior two. Straighten both legs. Inhale. Exhale, sink into the posture. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, swing it forward, side angle posture. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, triangle pose. Look up toward your left hand, take a big circle, hands to prayer, stork pose, left knee lifts, inhale. Exhale, left foot lands on the mat. Inhale, right knee to the chest. Exhale, move open to balancing half moon. Take a full inhale. Exhale, rock it back, warrior two. Inhale, sit out of it. Exhale, sink into it. I might have skipped a breath there, that's okay. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle, swing it forward. Inhale, reverse, straighten left leg. Exhale, take it forward, triangle pose. Look up towards your right hand, take a big circle back, down, forward. Hands to prayer, right knee lifts, inhale. Exhale, right foot on the ground. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to your ground, to your mat, step to plank. Work through your low plank chaturanga. Pull through upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. And exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Look forward, rise to the toes, bend the knees. Walk or hop, top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. Last one. Inhale, left knee into the chest. Exhale, rock open, balancing half moon. Take a full breath in, followed by a full breath out. Left foot steps back. Inhale, both legs extend. Exhale, warrior two, make it strong. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse your triangle, both legs extend. And then exhale, take it to triangle pose. Look up to your left hand, swoop into a big circle, and then bring your left knee to the chest, stork pose. Place the left foot on the ground. Right knee lifts, inhale. Exhale, rock it open, balancing half moon. Take a full breath in, full breath out. Rock back to warrior two on your inhale, straighten both legs. As you exhale, warrior two. Inhale to reverse. Exhale, side angle, take it forward. Inhale, reverse, both legs extend. Exhale, triangle pose, open up. Look up to your right hand, big circle. Hands to prayer, right knee into the chest, breath in. Both legs on the floor, breath out. Inhale, hands to the sky, amazing work. Exhale, take a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the ground. Vinyasa, plank pose to low plank pose. Upward facing dog, followed by downward facing dog. As we land to downward facing dog, one breath in, followed by one breath out. Press into the hands to walk the hands back to the feet, forward fold at the back of your mat, and then roll yourself up to standing. Let's do one more balancing pose on either side, which will be dancer's pose, Natarajasana, one of my favorite postures. And it's one of my favorite postures to take when we're already open, right? When we've already been through a bunch of movements, because this posture uses the entire body. All right, so let's stand on right foot. Left foot comes into left hand. And so I want to talk about this for a second, right? Dancer's pose, it doesn't matter really if you grab your inner sole of your foot or the outside of the foot. I just want you to be aware, all right? So when you grab the inner edge of the foot, you're able to externally rotate at the shoulder and find lots of space right here on the shoulder because of that arm rotation. When you grab the outside of your foot, your shoulder is rolling down, right? So your shoulder is actually closing off more into internal rotation. So if you want to get a little more open in the shoulders, maybe try grabbing the inside edge of your foot. So stand on your right foot, left foot into left hand. With that being said, do whatever the heck you want, right? It's your practice. I'm not watching you. All right, so when you're here, right hand to the sky, and then kick left foot into your left hand, dancer's pose. Try to find your balance. First, feel the weight picking up, 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 and then maybe hinge forward if you'd like to. Let's try our best to stay here for 10, 9. You can always fall out of it and then rejoin, right? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Release. I always go back and forth on whether I think dancer's pose is more challenging on the standing leg or the lifted leg. I think a case could be made for both of those. All right, stand on your left foot now. Right foot to right hand. Again, be just aware of whether you're choosing the outside or inner edge of the foot. It's up to you. Left hand to the sky, and then kick right foot into right hand to make the extension happen. Breathe here. Find strength for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Release. Woo. Shake out the legs for a quick moment. All right. From here, let's reach the hands to the sky. Let's step to the top of the mat and reach the hands to the sky. Take an inhale. As we exhale, forward fold. From our forward fold, pause for a moment. Bring your feet wider, right? So feet wide, toes point outside. Even the toes might be off the mat. And then sink into your Malasana yogi squat. All right, so come into your squat. You can always use blocks underneath your butt if you want to sit on some supports so that you don't have to worry about the hips kind of shouldering this weight. One opportunity for crow pose here. So if you want to work crow, this is your chance. Hands move to the floor. Rise onto your tippy toes, bend your elbows, try to place your knees onto your triceps, lean forward, look out in front of you to create that momentum. Maybe nothing lifts and you just shift the weight, that's still crow. Maybe 1 foot lifts, maybe 2 lift. Either way, try it. Again, it doesn't matter if your feet actually lift, as long as you're trying, you're still doing crow pose for 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and release. Feet to the mat, and then plop your butt down on the mat. It might have been graceful, it might not have been. And come into your boat pose, Navasana boat pose. Good. Find your balance. This is the last challenging thing we're going to do today. We'll do 10 rounds of high boat to low boat pose. All right, so let's get it. High boat pose, low boat pose, right? So just same thing, except we're coming lower onto the mat with the low back on the mat. And then rise up to high boat, come to low boat, that's 2. High boat, low boat, that's 3. High boat, low boat, 4. High boat, low boat, 5. High boat, low boat, 6. High boat, low boat, 7. High boat, low boat, 8. High boat, low boat, 9. High boat, low boat, 10. And then lay down on your back. Woo! Good job. If you're still with me, then I love you and you're doing an amazing job, because those high boats to low boats, I think they're a little bit fun, honestly, but that does not mean that they are easy. All right, so let's bring our feet together and let our knees open out wide for reclined bound angle pose, Supta Baddha Konasana. Rest your hands. I'm having my arms rest overhead because it feels nice on the shoulders, so hands can rest overhead with the elbows bent, or if you want to feel more grounded, then you can place your hands maybe on your pointy hip bones or on your belly. Let the eyelids close and take a few breaths. Letting the energy begin to cool down a little bit. Bring your feet flat onto the mat, knees to the sky. And then bring your feet wide. Feet come all the way to the borders of your mat. And then knock the knees together into the middle. Adjust your stance as you need. You could either relax here. By knocking the knees together in the middle, we're actually creating a nice neutral pelvis. Maybe you try to lengthen your spine a little bit, scooting your upper back up further on your mat. And then relax. You can either stay here, or maybe it feels good to windshield wiper a little bit by dipping one knee then the other in towards the middle of your mat. Just letting ourselves breathe for a second. Bring the feet more into hips width distance. Cross your left ankle over your right knee and gently encourage your left knee away from your body with or without the use of your hands or arms to do that. Take about 2 breaths here, relaxing the back body onto the surface beneath you. And switch sides. Left foot comes down. Right ankle crosses over. Find your figure 4 or reclined pigeon pose. Take about 2 or 3 breaths. Place both feet down and then extend into like a 5-pointed star shape on your back. So legs go wide. It's like we're at the open part of a snow angel with our legs. And then arms reach basically just out to the sides like a T shape. And so this is where I'm going to leave you. It's like a wide open version of Shavasana. And in my opinion, this feels quite nice and open on the body, especially after all of those triangles and balancing half moons. Let your body open and rest here. Maybe you stay here for 30 seconds. Maybe you stay here for 5 minutes. Maybe you stay here for 10 minutes. The path is up to you from here on out. This is where I will leave you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for tuning in. It's always my pleasure to create this space and to share this space with you all. If you have any questions or comments,
leave them in the comment box below and I'll be sure to get back to you. Otherwise, I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day, and I'll hope to see you sometime soon on or off the mat. Much love to you and yours. Peace, my friends.